Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. 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 Nithyananda. Paramuham. Om Nithyananda. Paramuham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Nithyanandam Parasukadam Jnanamurtim Dvandvam Sadrusham Brahmasyanilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamacharam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigurarahitam Sadgurum Namami. Yes, Nithyananda, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Pre-Satsang segment. We have with us Sri Nithya Paramashivoham Maharaj, Nithyananda Maharaj, and I am Sri Nithya Paramashivam Maharaj. So today the topic which we are going to discuss is modernization versus westernization, right?
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting topic which we also invite our viewers to participate in, and we would love to hear your comments also and your opinion about this interesting topic, whether we should modernize or we should westernize. What is really happening? What is happening in the world today, especially with the Hindus? What are we doing? Are we modernizing or are we westernizing in the name of modernization? So let's start, Maharaj. Now, do you think, first of all, is modernization really bad? Is it okay? Is it good to modernize for the Hindus? Let's talk mostly from the perspective of Hindus.
Yeah. So if you see, Hindus are like always modernized. If you see any modernized place, any modernized culture, any place that is completely modernized, Hindus are involved in it. Even if you see anywhere, Hindus are always modernized. And it's not a bad thing to modernize. Modernization is always like, it's towards evolving, it's towards evolution. So that's what I would say, that modernization is not wrong. It's just giving steps towards evolution.
So it's natural. You're saying, first of all, it's natural.
Yes.
In fact, it's necessary also to be at the cutting edge, to be at the forefront of whatever is happening, whatever development is happening in the world.
Yeah.
It's a good quality to be modernized. And also, a very important point you mentioned is that Hindus have always been the most modern people. And at whatever time, they have been the most evolved.
Yeah.
Taking your word here. Most evolved and most modern in their respective times. This is something natural which comes to Hinduism. And talking about even today, most of the technology, modern technology that we have today, Hindus are really the leaders in that.
Yeah.
They are the builders.
Anywhere you see, anywhere Hindus are like always there in the modern place, whether it's in the US, India, in the Europe, anywhere. Hindus are like on the top.
They are building it, so why not use it? We are building it, why not use it, right?
Yes.
Definitely modernization is good. The question is, what is happening in the name of modernization? What are we doing in the name of modernization? Right? What is really happening? So, first of all, see, what we see, what we observe around us is a blind imitation of the West. The Western culture, the Western thought currents, everything from the West is simply blindly followed, blindly imitated without even any reasoning, without any quality check, so to speak, and just blindly following, and we can take examples, let's say, even some down to earth basic examples of wearing jeans, right? We just completely discard our own fashion, our own way of dressing, our way, whatever we wear as Hindu, whatever our symbols are, we simply discard all of those and simply go for this fad of jeans. It's completely it's mindless. There is no reason. Even in the 50 degrees centigrade temperature in India, we are wearing jeans and we are wearing tuxedos and suits and everything, going to the corporate meetings. All this with 40-50 degrees temperature. What is going on? It's simply blind following of the West, isn't it? Do you want to give some more examples of how we are blindly just imitating the West?
Actually, I would like to also I want to first maybe show Hinduism from the aspect of Hinduism. If you see, in Hinduism, we have hundreds, thousands of different traditions, and over those thousands of different traditions, we have thousands of different styles of wearing dress or anything, but we still look towards the West. Whether it is the way we dress up, the things that we eat, actually, most things that the people, the highest death rate is itself because of the food that we are eating, more than people dying out of hunger. That is because of westernizing type of food that we are having, moving away from our idli dosas to the pizzas and all the other burgers and everything that is going to spoil our health and kill us literally.
The problem is eating idli and dosa is not food. Pizza is food. This word has really literally destroyed us. And destroyed our mindset. We don't even think logically what is good and what is bad. Just what is Western, take it, imitate it and celebrate it. Now even see, many people ask this question that what is so wrong in following the West? Is it bad? Is it bad to be open to new cultures, new ideas? It's good, right? To be open, to be more forthcoming and celebrating and inclusive of other cultures, other people, their dressing style or whatever it is. First thing, yes, it is not just okay to be open. It is in fact very Hindu to be open. Hinduism is fundamentally the most liberal tradition, the most liberal religion out there in today's world and ever actually. Most open architecture, that's what we call it. Open architecture as an open architecture. So much of diversity in basic culture, so much of diversity even in the way we cognize the divine. So much of diversity in the way we relate with the ultimate reality. So many ways we describe the ultimate reality. So many forms of gods and goddesses, so many different traditions, and coming back to the culture, basic culture, art forms, and philosophies and music and dance and clothing, festivals, so much of diversity. So we Hindus are naturally open to every thought current. But the important point is, it's not like there is no core fundamental spindle around which the Hinduism evolves. It's not that. Because the fundamentals of Hinduism, they are open, but any new thought current has to be accepted only after it stands the scrutiny of those fundamental principles.
Like the Shastras which are revealed by Paramashivoham.
Yes, exactly. So many, the Vedas and Agmas, they give the fundamental principles of Hinduism. Now, any new thought current, in fact, the Vedas themselves say that the best ideas come from all the directions, right? But all the ideas first have to stand the scrutiny of the Vedas themselves. It's not like you just take up whatever garbage is there in the name of being open, right? So, first of all, as you said, you also brought up an important point that there is already so much of variety, so much of diversity in Hinduism. But are we open to that? Do we explore that? Let's say, if we talk about India, do North Indians explore the South Indian food, South Indian clothing style, South Indian dances, the way they imitate and follow the West? Same for South Indians. Do they look at the North Indian culture, explore it the way they look at culture in US or UK and this? No, they don't. So it's also not this logic is in fact not really true that, just the openness and all. No. There is a deep self-hatred in us. There is a deep inferiority complex in us, and that we are really not good. We are not good enough, and there's something really wrong with us. So we have to leave this identity itself and follow something else which is out there, which is cool right now, which is popular right now. Isn't it? So much of this we see in our day-to-day style. We give up so much of our own dressing, our own thought currents, everything we have given up just to blindly follow the West because of this self-hatred, because of this inferiority complex. So coming to the next point, that, okay, now we're imitating, but what are we really imitating? What are we really imitating from the West?
Yeah.
Right? You want to give some examples, Maharaj? What are we really imitating?
So the first thing that we are imitating is like all the different dressing styles that we are wearing. Like if you see, the Hindu culture has, the Hindu tradition has such a big vast dressing styles. It's like if you go Swamiji says, every 100 kilometers that you go in India, where the Hinduism was like, the base of the Hinduism was, every little bit if you travel, every place you will see a new dressing style. Like every 100 kilometers you travel in the Hindu place, you will see a new dressing style, you will see a new kind of food. There is like, within so small space itself, there is like such a big diversity, and we are moving away from that and into what? Into what are we moving? Like,
actually, Amar, why don't you give your own example?
Yes.
You have studied in the Gurukul, you are a Gurukul graduate, by the way. Paramashivoham Maharaj is the graduate of the KAILASA Nithyananda Gurukul.
Yes.
So, power manifesting Balasan is sitting with us. So, before Gurukul, normally you would have had an so-called outer world lifestyle, whatever, for how many years were there. So, from that basic memory, you can tell some example, simple example, in which you were even unconsciously or consciously following the Western style.
yeah.
In clothing, the food,
I would say mainly the way I was born and brought up as a Hindu from the beginning, but the education system, that is what, like, even my parents are so convinced that that was the right thing for me. That is where I feel that the Westernization happened in my life before joining Gurukul. Mainly the education system which is there, that is the most Westernized things that like I even now feel that was the place that my life was going in the wrong direction before I joined the Gurukul.
Okay.
With which like I also didn't like it, never did I like it, nor was I able to adjust to it, because we Hindus are always like looking for something else other than what West is giving us. So that is something that is very westernizing in my life before joining the Gurukul.
Even from this way. In fact, before I continue, we would like our viewers to please share your opinions, your interests, even any questions you have in the comment section. We would love to answer anything you're asking, and even add to whatever opinions. We would love to hear your opinions on this topic which we are sharing today. So coming back to this discussion, Maharaj, what you were saying from the education system, schools, I remember one incident. I will not take any names or something, but this one experience, this memory is there. I used to wear this, our mothers have this, they make us wear something, either it is a chandra or something is in a locket or something, pendant, this or that. So I was wearing one of those, and the school principal, he simply just pointed out, hey, what are you wearing this thing? This is not allowed in the school. I suddenly, because I was a kid at that time, I did not understand all this. I suddenly started getting that negative kind of feeling. It was like not like it's something low to wear all this.
So I also have one experience like that. So like I know Swamiji from the time I was 3 years old, but I was still continuing to go to the outside schools. So I used to wear like the kapu which you get in the in any of our ashrams, if you come, you see people wearing the kapu in their hands, the rudraksha,
sacred thread, you mean?
No, we used to wear like a bracelet. Like a bracelet we used to wear. So we used to wear that in our hand, and I used to go to school with that. And many times I've seen that like people don't like us wearing that. They'll tell, okay, remove this. Some teacher who is like, do not like that, they'll tell, okay, you cannot wear this in my class. Something like that. The Rudraksha mala which I used to wear, many times I used to wear it inside my shirt so that people don't know that I'm wearing this. So it's like, everywhere if you see, it's like into Westernization. And you should wear a proper uniform, you should wear shoes, you should wear tie, you should wear this, that, all of that. When we have so much of our own thing, we are still looking to someone else where they are trying to show something else.
So it's not just really about celebrating diversity. No, we are actually hating and discarding and discouraging our own things in the name of taking something else. This is something really dangerous, I feel, Maharaj.
Yes. So we have Jibaj Mandal, who is telling that, hello, I want to come in KAILASA. So yes, you can come to KAILASA. You can just apply for the e-citizenship, which is there. The e-citizenship, the QR code is being projected to all of you. So now you can sign up for the e-citizenship, where you are becoming any Kailasian who is becoming a part of KAILASA. Yes.
Yes, great news. So wonderful to hear people getting interested. That's what we love. That's what we are here to do, to take the message of Swamiji, the Supreme Point of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, to the entire world, and literally enrich the entire world with his presence, with his teachings, and bring the entire world to him. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate it. So yeah, sharing our personal experiences. What are we really imitating? This is just we're just talking about the culture, and even this simple thing about simple wearing this and that. It has basically taken us also to this really going deep into it, how it has really affected our life, because it ultimately boils down to thought currents, right? We are not just imitating this cloth or that cloth. We are actually taking the thought currents of the West and also discarding our own thought currents. We have to first see, is it right, is it wrong, what are we really doing? The Western thought currents, if we really study it objectively, it is not the highest. Highest in the sense, it is not really giving the highest cognition, the highest identity of us. It doesn't introduce you to you as the divine, as God, as the favorite inheritor of the cosmos, right? The way the themselves declare, the Brahman Bahuputratam, right? Yeah, you can surely expand on that. What are these cognitions which we, as we go into the discussion of Hinduism, what are we really giving up? But what are we imitating? The entire Western thought currents, the great, so-called enlightenment era scholars from Europe, they're not really enlightened. Even they're based fundamentally on low self-image.
Yes.
The fathers of Western psychology themselves, if you study their all the works, it does not come from true powerfulness, the true cognition, the presence of consciousness. There is no such thing there. The whole existentialism.
See, the core principle that they work out of is fear and greed. Which is mainly based on they think that, okay, this is only the one life I have, let me do everything possible in this one life. So they try to do all kinds of nonsense in this just one life, and they mess their own life up. Yes. That's all they're doing finally. So because they're functioning with the fundamental cognition of fear and greed, they're not even able to raise their level to raise their own themselves to a higher states of consciousness.
Because there is not even any cognition that there is something higher. That is a fundamental problem.
Yes.
So this basically a poor man's version of whatever you may call as philosophy and this and that. That's where we are blindly just following it.
Yeah.
It's such so unfortunate. And not just, you see, what all we eventually end up doing. We follow their philosophy, we follow their political structure, this entire left wing, right wing, both the wings are taken from the West. Nothing is Hindu in this.
Yeah.
Right? Economics, capitalism, communism, thisism, thatism, secularism, everything is from the West. What is Hindu in that? It's like we Hindus are fighting whether I am left wing or right wing. Both wings are not ours.
Yeah.
That is the fundamental problem which we don't address. Right? Everything, be it dance, be it music. Unfortunately, we see all of this. So much of anger, so much of rebelliousness in the name of being rebelliousness, basically just violence and frustration, even in the lyrics of the songs, the dance forms are itself so violent.
Yeah, actually if you see in the Hindu tradition, everything has a significance in it. Whether the dress you are wearing or the food that you are eating, the time you are waking up, the time you are sleeping, everything in it has a significance. Even the dress that you are wearing, the dress that we are wearing right now, this is the traditional dress, the official dress of KAILASA. This dress has a significance that is there. The jatas that we are having, this has a significance. The dress that we are wearing, why we should wear the angavastram on the left side, why we should wear the mala, why we should wear the sundaravadam, why should we have the jatas, why should it be tied above the head on the sahasrara chakra. Every single thing has a significance. But we do not even look into what it is. We do not want to know what it is. I want to do what the West is doing, and that is my life. That is all
uncool, right? This is all fashion. No, that's not right.
Yeah.
So that is the unfortunate reality, but we have to change. We have to first see. It's not like there's some moral policing. We are going to decide how you're going to live your life.
Yeah.
We are just here to discuss. We are just here to open a discussion and just to look what is the reality. What are we really doing? Even in fact, when we are imitating the West, it's just basically following the PR of the West or following their marketing. Let's look at what is really going on, even in the West. Let's say what is the Western society itself going through, unfortunately. Because they themselves are also victims of this thought current, isn't it? It's not like they're some enemies or something. They themselves are victims of this thought current. So much the society is going through. I request our statistics from the Western society, what they are facing, the problems of depression, problems of crime rates, unstable families, single mother, children being brought up by single parents, single mothers. All this, so much of high prisoners, high number of prisoners, and all these big problems that the West is facing. All this is because of what? Because of these fundamental thought currents, because of these cognitions, and also which is ingrained in the culture which we are following. We may not be directly reading their philosophies and all that, no, but even simply imitating their culture as it is, because the culture itself is a reflection of the inner space of our thought currents. So simply by imitating the culture, also we are imitating those thought currents, which can be dangerous, as we see what has happened in the West.
Yes, so here we have a few stats that is being projected by our team.
Yes.
Depression is a worldwide disability, and it affects 264 million people of all ages. So if you see 264 million people from the West are having the depression in them. This is especially from the United States of America. This is from that. 264 million people are depressed, and depression is higher in developed countries than in the non-developed countries. 17.3 million adults have had one major depression episode in the last 1 year. So these are the stats that we have to present to all of you with what the Westernization has done to the people who are living.
Yes, even in the West. Yes.
Yeah, even in the West. So here we have some stats on the crime rates. 1.3 million violent crime rates in 2020 alone, just in the United States of America. And next we have some stats for the divorce rate. 3 divorces for every 1,000 people in just 1 year, which is 2019. So every 3 people in 1,000 have had a divorce in their life. So that's like 0.3% of the entire United States of America. So this is what we are suffering with if you are seeing the whole of the world, especially while Westernizing. That's where you all should know, that's where you're heading if you are like actively trying to like do everything that the West is doing, follow what the West is doing. If all of us are like literally damaging ourselves, that's all.
And it's not even about what will happen in the future if we continue to do it. It is already happening. Indian cities, at least the metropolitan cities, if we talk about, they're already like mini Wests.
Yes.
Like they've already developed their model how to live based on the Western model, based on the Western society. That's exactly what is happening. Even if we look at the statistics of Indian cities, Indian metropolitan cities, we have similar trends. We have the same depression, we have the same crime rates, high crime rates in the Indian cities. You know, any of these problems, even divorces, unstable relationships, all these problems are erupting, they are emerging even in Indian cities. Why? Because they are also following the same model. In fact, we would like to project the statistics for the Indian cities as well, so that we can actually look at the data, look at the numbers, what is really happening.
Yes, Manoj. So if you see in India, in Indian cities, 5.8 life prevalence of depression in India. Depression is prevalent in 20% of patients in primary care and clinics in Pune, 23 in Ahmedabad clinics. So these are all the stats that we just read out. So much of depression is like, these are all depressed that is noted, but there are so many people who are depressed even without we knowing. And next we have some crime rates. Here are the stats for the crime rates. Delhi has 400,000 reported incidents of National Crime Records in National Crime Records Bureau. Mumbai has 43,000. In Kolkata, it's 31,000. In Bengaluru, it's 30,000. So this is where the world is heading while Westernizing themselves.
Yeah, this is what we are doing. We have to look at the ground reality, where we are heading, how we are manifesting the same kind of problems which are there in the West, in our own society, in our own backyard, in fact. So that's what is happening. And the main question is, at what cost, Maharaj? What are we giving up? We are blindly imitating something without even realizing what we are giving up. What is the value? Infinite value in our own tradition, in our own culture, not just for the sake of culture, our culture, but actually, objectively speaking, education, life positive, enriching, successful, time tradition on the planet Earth. In fact, the only ancient civilization which now stands is the Hindu civilization. So much of resilience. Where have you seen? In what culture? What tradition? After going through, millennia, not even centuries, millennia of genocide by the anti-Hindu forces, the Hindu media forces, still standing tall, even if now they are literally in the emergency care in the hospital, still standing tall, still trying to revive themselves, still celebrating life, still being inclusive.
Yes.
This resilience is not, I think, I have not seen in any other culture,
Yes.
in anywhere in the world, Maharaj. This is what you see. The value is in our own tradition, wherever you settle ethnic community.
Yeah.
And that will request our team to project our viewers. Hindus are the richest people. Most of the successful CEOs are Hindus all over the world.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and most the happiest people, most non-violent people, corruption. All these things, because of what? Because of these values, because of these cognitions which Hinduism gives us. Right? In fact, I would invite you, Maharaj, to also first share statistics also, and schools are. Who are our role models? How do we learn? How do we get these cognitions in our DNA?
Yes. So we have some stats on what the Hinduism is. Least present inmates are Hindus, 0.05% in the world. Of the terrorists in the world, Hindus are the least in just 6%. Yes, we have percent of the total population in Hindus among present population at Hindu is 0.4%. Only 0.4% in the United States. Only 0.4% are Hindus.
Least crime rate.
Yes.
Most happiest, joyful, most contributing people all over the world.
Yes.
Simple ground reality. And because of what? Because of our cognitions, because of the values which our parents, starting from our parents, then the gurus, all the gurus, enlightened beings, all our Purana, the stories that we read, everything. We can even, share some more, all the points about what are the real values of Hinduism.
Yes. Like the West is all going to the people like they have their own heroes, the people who are acting, or some of them where even the now Hindus are also following, but actually if you see the core Hindu principles, we have great heroes in our lives which are not mythologies, which are real Hindu histories, which is like Ramayana, like Mahabharata, where greatest ideal where it is Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. So that is the person who we are the core from, where we are like not like the most dharmic people.
Yes.
Yes. Rama was the most dharmic person. So it is like all of it. Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, in fact, all the things, the best Vedas and Agmas give us the best cognitions to live our life. The truth, in fact, that we are gods. We are not human beings. We are divine beings having the genes. And our true purpose is to have the superconscious.
Actually, in Hinduism, we say that Ekoham Bhaushyamaha means from one Paramashiva manifestos, there's many to celebrate. We are literally living only to celebrate our own lives. That is what we are living for.
Yes, celebration is in fact the fundamental cognition.
Yes.
And inclusiveness, oneness of that's what we are born with. In fact, the first initiation which a child gets is the Gayatri initiation,
correct,
which is the initiation into the cosmic intelligence in the child. It doesn't give any morality, this or that. No. Simply, I meditate, I bow down to the cosmic intelligence and let me meditate intelligence so that it also gets invoked in me. That is the first initiation, how a child's education begins. We even talked about days ago about the educational kind of education. So yes, very important. What can ingrain in a child at a young age? So this brings us back to our discussion. What are we imitating? What values are we even imitating for our children as well? How is it going to affect future? And Hinduism, with even its deep culture, music, dance, art forms, dressing style, as you mentioned earlier, everything is ingrained with these powerful cognitions. All our festivals, all our celebrations, everything is having with the divine, the divinity, and these truths as the core. We are diverse, we celebrate life, we enjoy life, but holding this core principle of oneness, of divinity, of this truth, and our true purpose of life always as alive.
Even the supreme point of Hinduism says that we are but we are only against westernization. Even so, the supreme point of Hinduism says that he has so many Apple watches and he uses an iPad. So we are not against modernization, but we are only against the westernization where we are corrupting ourselves and we are moving in a wrong direction.
Yes, everything. Because and what are we giving up? Such a celebrative, such a joyful, celebrative, intelligent tradition, right?
Yes.
Whole year-round festivals, again and again, every month, so many festivals, again and again, reminding us of it's not the festivals which so-called the West, what we are imitating from the West, the pop culture and this and that. No rock concerts and all that. No. Festivals every week, every month to celebrate our divinity and to celebrate the oneness in existence, to celebrate this joy and contributing to others' lives. Even Maharaj, I think on 23rd, we are again going to celebrate another very important festival, which is the Chittirai Peruvila Brahmotsavam, right? Which is the basic main festival of Devi Meenakshi. Right? You want to speak a couple of lines about that, Maharaj?
Yes. So this is the Madurai, where the great Meenakshi temple is. It originates from Madurai, where the whole of KAILASA will be celebrating this festival, which goes on for 10 days, where we are going to be having grand festivals, pujas, homas, and so many exciting celebrations that are going to happen from the 23rd of this month.
Yes, and most importantly, the tradition, the spiritual tradition, the ecosystem which was established and created by Devi Meenakshi and Somasundareshwara Swami Paramashiva himself. They established this tradition of Shamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam, which is an enlightenment-based ecosystem, the Hindu ecosystem, and they ruled this Madurai Samrajyam. And they introduced and continued, this whole lineage continues till today with the succession of enlightened masters, enlightened gurus, and the pontiffs. And the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the current 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Madurai Adinam of the Shamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam. And that's why this even has a much more greater importance and significance and emotional value for us, for Kailasa Vasis, celebrating the Chittirai Peruvila Brahmotsavam and celebrating the happening, the greatest happening of Devi, of Mother, of the Meenakshi in our life on planet Earth. And how she ruled as a queen. We will be talking about it in the upcoming episodes when the Brahmotsavam is happening, how she ruled, how she manifested the greatest enlightenment civilization on planet Earth. She was literally the ruler of all the lokas. Right?
Yes.
So with Paramashiva himself ruling on with her.
We'll be having one day where we're going to tell the story of Devi Meenakshi also.
Absolutely. The people need to hear her story. She is literally the symbol of Hindu feminism, we could say. True. And so much we can learn from her. We invite all our viewers to donate even for the Annadanam that is going to happen in Madurai, in the Shamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam during the Chittirai Peruvila Brahmotsavam. Annadanam is basically the offering of free food to all the visitors, to all the devotees of Paramashiva and Devi, Paramashiva Shakti, Meenakshi, and they visit, the devotees when they visit, free food is served to them at Kailasa in Madurai. So we invite all our viewers to also contribute, donate, scan the QR code, the donation QR code, which is going to be projected at the bottom of the screen to be an active participants in this great celebration.
Yes, so we have Tatiana commenting. I live in the US, but I love to wear Indian clothing. And I love to listen to Indian bhajans, Indian art, Indian food, Ayurvedic medicine. USA needs to learn more from Indian culture and traditions of daily life. That's so beautiful, Tatiana. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for commenting.
Thank you so much. We appreciate this a lot, actually. There is actually, yes, the view is true actually. There is so much to learn. Even Hindus have to learn so much about Hinduism.
Many people are actually realizing that now. Yes. In the West, many people are actually realizing and coming towards the Hindu tradition to evolve themselves and to raise their consciousness and become Paramashiva. Yes. So many people are actually realizing that Westernizing is not the best thing. So it's time for all of us to wake up, realize that Westernizing is not the best thing, and actually just become a Hindu and make yourself
Yes.
overflowing with Paramashiva.
And yes, basically, it is objectively speaking, it is the right thing to do for anyone.
Yes.
We as human beings have this as the purpose of our life. Do not get caught up in this 9 to 5 rut, fear, greed based rut, be slaves and pay bills the whole life and then die. That is not the purpose of our life. We are divine by our very nature, in our very DNA. We are Paramashiva himself. And we have to realize it. That's why we have come down to planet Earth.
Yes.
To
Even
Bhaloka.
the power manifestation that we are doing, it's not to like show off that I have these powers, I have that power. It's not because of that. Even the power manifestation that the supreme point of Hinduism is initiating us all and making us manifest so many powers, it's all just to show that yes, you are Paramashiva and you can manifest anything that you want in your life. And power manifestation is just like a glimpse to see that I am Paramashiva, to say that yes, when I declare Paramashiva, anything that I declare, I can manifest. That is the manifestation of Paramashiva happening inside us. So soon we'll be also having a power manifestation session where you all can have the glimpse of the power manifestation and experience what the highest state of consciousness which the Hinduism has to offer. You all can experience that in today's session as well.
Yes, taking from the cue from what you said, Maharaj, I remember just a few days ago when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in his satsang shared about the artificial intelligence and how now artificial intelligence can literally do everything that we human beings are doing. Now, only thing which we are left to do and is to simply focus on our true purpose of life, which is to have the superconscious breakthrough, to manifest the superconscious powers, right, and share it with the entire world, make everyone else have the superconscious breakthrough, manifest these powers. And Hinduism basically is the most intelligent tradition which has the power to even solve the so-called anticipated problems that people are thinking the AI may cause, and also to contribute to the artificial intelligence, to the latest technology. And this is basically the proof that Hinduism is modern, right? I remember that Swamiji once saying that the next level of existence for human beings is to simply manifest powers. That is the most modern thing to do. After AI, what is there? Just have the superconscious breakthrough and manifest powers. This is the most modern thing that we can do.
Yes. Mark is telling, you are all delusional people. Let us look into our own delusions and raise ourselves to enlightenment. That is the Hindu purpose.
That is the Hindu purpose, yes. To get rid of all our delusions, realize our true purpose of existence, that is enlightenment, that is superconscious breakthrough. That is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has incarnated to manifest, that he has incarnated with the sole purpose. That's why he is building KAILASA, basically just for this purpose, to make human beings realize who they really are, to manifest Paramashivatva, to manifest Paramadvaita in their lives, make them manifest powers, and to create their reality, to cause their reality, and literally give the superconscious breakthrough to entire humanity, take it to the next level, which is again the most modern thing to do.
Yes. We are not against Westernization. We are only against Westernization, not modernization. We are open to modernization, and we are Hindus, so we are always open to modernization. And like the whole of KAILASA is built on digital nation. So if you see, we are already living the most modern life, which is like the whole of digital nation. So all of you can literally see us on the digital platforms, and like you are all watching us on the digital platform. We are always there on digital nations. So KAILASA, you all can sign up for e-citizenship, which is KAILASA's e-citizenship by scanning the QR code that is there below. And yes.
And also to one more important information, that if you also want to have the superconscious breakthrough, experience it personally in your life, please scan the QR code for the Mahaparam that is happening right now. It will be personally attended by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, where he is guiding each and every participant, initiating them into these highest truths, highest cognitions, and giving them experiential this knowledge, this cognition of Paramashivatva, Paramadvaita in their lives, and all the best gifts that Hinduism has to offer. He is literally giving to all the people, all the participants. So, if you are interested, we would urge you to please scan the QR code for Paramashivoham that is projected at the bottom of your screen. In fact, Maharaj, what you were saying, that the Westernization, you're not against Westernization, we don't even have to think about that. The West themselves, they are realizing the value of Hinduism, right?
Yes.
They themselves are going to the next level now. Anyway, it's such an intelligence-based system. The entire intelligentsia, the entire, aware, the people who are aware, who are literally awakened, who are, literally enlightened, so to speak, at least in the mundane sense, they know how to differentiate what is right and wrong. They clearly see the value of Hinduism. They are already Hinduizing. Then why are Hindus still stuck with the old Western thought currents? That is something which we have to question, which we have to come out of this delusion. Now, coming to the end of today's segment, so before we move on to the power manifestation session today, we will again bring up today's Hindu votes question for all the viewers. Just to remind that Hindu votes is an initiative by us to involve the general population and the entire public into the decision making of KAILASA. As e-citizens or even as general public, you can get involved into not only sharing your opinion but also becoming a part of the decision making, policy making process of KAILASA, because KAILASA is through KAILASA, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, is basically reviving the Hindu model of democracy. And what is the Hindu model of democracy? It is responsible democracy. In responsible democracy, basically, the people who are well versed or who are aware about any particular thought current, any particular field, they are actually made the decision makers. Their votes and their opinions are actually respected, and they are empowered to even be the decision makers in that field with the policies related to that field. So that's why we have taken up this initiative where every day we post a question, a poll on Twitter on the official handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Twitter handle is @Shri Nithyananda, where people can head after watching that today's satsang by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and cast your vote on today's topic. Now, coming to today's Hindu votes question, I'll read it out. Do you think Hindu youth should celebrate their Hindu identity and boldly assert their Hindu principles in their thoughts, actions, and everyday lifestyle? I'll repeat it once more. Do you think Hindu youth should celebrate their Hindu identity and boldly assert their Hindu principles in their thought, action, and everyday lifestyle? So, immediately after today's, you're completely enriched and empowered with today's satsang by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Immediately to the official Pontiff @Shri Nithyananda, and please cast your vote so that we will know what your opinion is and how we can involve it in the decision making of KAILASA. Yes, so now after this, it is time for today's power manifestation session. So please stay tuned. We will be joined by one of the sannyasis of the Sovereign Order of KAILASA, a graduate of the KAILASA Nithyananda Gurukul, Power Manifesting Power Center. We will be manifesting the superconscious powers and also helping you, guiding you, and on how you can also manifest the same powers, not just theoretically but practically. During the session itself, you can come and be a part of that session and manifest the powers also, and celebrate what the Supreme Pontiff has to offer. So please stay tuned for the next session on power manifestation.
Yes.
Thank you.
This Paramashivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way. The principal cognitions we will be manifesting experientially. Each of the principal cognitions, the principal truths, the whole science of manifesting Paramashiva in you is presented as 4 major paths: Tariya Pada, Kriya Pada, Yoga Pada, Jnana Pada. The whole Hinduism is founded on these 4 words. Holding the cognition you are the ultimate Paramashiva and making that as your lifestyle, manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, everything of Paramashiva in your day-to-day life, learning it, manifesting it, living it, you will be having the space in the shoulder, and from sitting on the shoulders of Paramashiva, Guru himself, traveling to KAILASA and experiencing Paramashiva in ultimate, blissful, safest, bestest way.
The nature of consciousness, the source, the relationship between our ego and the world. This has plagued us for generations. We strive to understand why we are the way we are, why our reality is the way it is, why our life is the way it is. But what if the way we see the world as separate from us is just an illusion? What if our consciousness exists before all experience and is not limited to the confines of our body and mind?
Today what I revealed is practically the whole Hinduism in a nutshell. If you make the column, you will see clearly most of your problems are internal non-understanding. When these internal non-understandings are cleared, life becomes Leela. You just manifest what you want. I'll make this as a realization in you all now through this initiation and darshan of Sadashiva.
Nithyananda. So now we'll be having the power manifestation segment after the beautiful session where we have been discussed and had a Vakyartha on the modernization versus the westernization. Today we will be manifesting the power of consciousness over matter, where we're going to be having any matter in your hands, connecting with Swamiji, the space of oneness, and moving it with manifestation, connecting with what is being spoken today on the topic of modernization and westernization. Swamiji very beautifully tells that each one of us, we have a problems and we want to get rid out of it. We don't want to be stuck on, we just don't want to hang on with it. Consciousness or matter, the power manifestation science is one of the most beautiful way to get rid out of our problems and actually manifest our reality. So the science behind it, Swamiji tells, is, when you have a matter, for example, it's a coconut or a fruit or anything you want to keep in your hands, you just keep, and inside yourself you have a problem. For example, you have financial difficulties which you want to complete with. You have it inside you that you want to obstacle and in your life. So see that in the coconut. Roll to just stare at it or look through your third eye, connecting with Swamiji and giving the instructions to actually move. When the coconut falls, you will see in your day-to-day lives your power manifestations happen and your obstacles get cleared. The science for Swamiji tells that consciousness over not just moving matter in front of you, or you try to move, but actually your day-to-day life problems get solved. So we'll be having one round of this manifestation where you can take a few minutes now. If you're in your house, office, or wherever you're sitting, you can just near you. Best is coconut or fruits or something which you can easily connect with. You can take a few minutes and bring it.
again, Swamiji, like just to for all the viewers to come, please be seated. Swamiji very beautifully tells that all the power manifestations is from the Vedas and Agamas. This specific manifestation of powers which we are going to do today, which is the consciousness over matter, is from the Vedas and Agamas. I'll be like chanting the scriptural reference. क्वचिद् वस्तूनि विन्यस्य शनैः दृष्टिं निवर्तयेत् तज्ज्ञानं चित्तसहितं येन शून्यालयो भवेत्. So this is one of the verse from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. From the Agamas, Paramashiva beautifully revealed that this is not just a power that you will just play with and it just goes, but it is actually existing and it is possible for everybody. So to begin off, like, it's like a actual power. Swamiji very beautifully tells that you will start moving a coconut to the beginning, and then you'll move fruits, and you'll move more bigger objects, and to the end you'll move even the walls. Like you just give instructions and it will actually move. So it looks like everybody is like got their object. So we'll begin. Keep the object in front of you, keeping your hand up, as you can see how I'm holding. And you can keep your object, whatever may be the object, in front, on your hands. And you can either close your eyes or like look at that object. It's up to you. Connecting with Swamiji and chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. So intensely chanting that, and we'll be having 2 minutes of this manifestation. As I said earlier, you can have a sankalpa, a conscious resolution of what obstacle you are having or facing in day-to-day life, where you want to actually get rid of it or manifest that, as you don't want that obstacle and you want to be actually happy. So see that in the object which you are holding in front of you, and see through your third eye and actually move it. When you move, something inside you, in your whole being, actually moves. So now let us all begin with the power manifestation, chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Look at how 1 minute. Few more seconds. Continue to connect with Swamiji, chanting the Mahavakya. When you manifest powers, you are Paramashiva. You are seeing yourself as Paramashiva. You are seeing the object also as Swamiji, as the manifestation of Swamiji.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Yes. So that's the 2 minutes. So if you have manifested, great. If you're able to feel actually the object is moving, or give a try, you give a shot. You see actually that, yes, I want to experience Paramashiva and see how the power manifestation happens. That's great. So whatever you're able to feel, either you move the object or what actually, some kind of vibrations or heat or what connections you are able to feel, you can actually share your experience. If you're able to feel, or leave a comment on the YouTube chat, Twitter, or wherever, whichever social media platform you're watching this power manifestation segment and you are actually manifesting, you can share your experience. Take a few minutes for that. If you're able to feel anything, it doesn't mean that you have to actually make the object fall. If you feel a vibration, if you feel your whole vibe is different and you feel Swamiji is really there in and around you, that is a power manifestation space. You are manifesting something. So that is wonderful. Be happy, be excited about it that Paramashiva is actually manifesting. Power manifestation science. Go ahead on social media and share your experience and what matter you held and you are manifesting. Let's take a few minutes for that. And when you're posting in the social media, post with the hashtag KAILASA and hashtag power manifestation. So these both, put the hashtags and share your experience of how you're able to manifest the power and how Swamiji helped you and manifested when you connected with him in the space of oneness through this power manifestation.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
You can post your pictures and the object pictures also. What is the object you are holding on and which object is actually moved. For example, if it's coconut or it's a fruit or it can be a ball, it can be any a stationary items also. Yes. So with this, we will come to the conclusion of today's power manifestation segment that we have manifested the power of consciousness over matter. Let us all sit straight. We'll be moving to the next segment, which is the Nithyananda Satsang, resonating the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to grace this as in the Nithyananda Satsang. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. invoking Swamiji's presence in our inner space, holding ourselves as Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
This Paramashivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way. The principal cognitions we will be manifesting experientially. Each of the principal cognitions, the principal truths, the whole science of manifesting Paramashiva in you is presented as four major paths: Tariya Pada, Kriya Pada, Yoga Pada, Jnana Pada. The whole Hinduism is founded on these four words. Holding the cognition you are the ultimate Paramashiva and making that as your lifestyle, manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, everything of Paramashiva in your day-to-day life, learning it, manifesting it, living it. You will be having the space in the shoulder, and from sitting on the shoulders of Paramashiva, Guru himself, traveling to KAILASA and experiencing Paramashiva in ultimate, blissful, safest, bestest way.
திருவடியை நாம் காண்போம், நித்தியன் திருவடி கண்டு நோயற்ற வாழ்வினை பெறுவோம். நித்தியன் திருவடி கண்டு நோயற்ற வாழ்வினை பெறுவோம். ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா. ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா. கேட்டால் தருவார், வந்தால் அருள்வார், நித்தியபுரி நித்யா நித்யா நித்தியபுரி நித்யா. நித்தியன் பாதம் கண்டு சகல செல்வமும் பெறுவோம். நித்தியன் பாதம் கண்டு சகல செல்வமும் பெறுவோம். ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா. ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா.
ஓம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவ சமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பரமசிவ சக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்ய பர்யந்தாம் Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the dignitaries, very important, yes, statesmen from the various countries, representatives of the various countries for this grand global conclave of an ancient traditional celebration of unity and peace and courage, Thaipusam with Sri KAILASA, uniting nations for indigenous traditions and tribes. We are honored to have Mr. Anthony Kiwonka, Department Minister, representative of Liberia. Thank you for being here. We are honored to have you here, Minister Mr. Anthony Kiwonka from Liberia. Honorable Solomon George, Member of House of Representatives representing Liberia, Mayor Peter Kezola representing Uganda, Honorable Deng Jesus Mading, Parliament Member representing Jangle and Chairperson of South Sudan Young Parliamentarian Caucus, South Sudan. I welcome you. We are honored by your presence. Mr. R.N. Hawker, Director of Migration Investments, representative of Turkey. Mr. Philip P. Reklai, Senator and representative of Palau, President of Reklai Associates. Thank you for being here. Haji Sainul Sarafat, President of Anjuman Zunatul Jamaat Association, representative of Trinidad and Tobago. Right Reverend Dr. Joseph, Head of the Lutheran Church Malawi. Datuk Dr. Logabalan Mohan, Deputy Minister of Federal Territories representing Malaysia. Mr. Gurpreet Singh, President of Punjab Organization representing Malaysia. And there's a long list of guests who are here. I sincerely thank every one of you for being here. We are honored by your presence. Thank you once again. And I also welcome all the ambassadors, ministers, representatives of Kailasa, Vidyeshwaras, Ganeshwaras, Lokeshwaras, Astreshwaras, I welcome all of you with my love and respects. We are honored by all of you. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. On this auspicious occasion, celebration, global conclave of an ancient traditional celebration of unity and peace and courage, Taipusam, organized by Kailasa, Uniting Nations for Indigenous Traditions and Tribes. Message from Paramashiva directly is, let us strengthen the grassroots of our conscious lifestyle to live consciously successful life on planet Earth. Please understand, the worst crisis humanity is going through is largest population ever on the planet Earth feels uprooted. Please understand, never ever world faced this conscious pandemic. I'm not talking about corona. I am talking about largest population, more than 70% of the human population feels they are uprooted. They have no roots. Consciously feel their life has no purpose. I tell you, the greatest problem humanity is facing now is not just pandemic, corona, or global warming. All this we can handle too easily if we are consciously strong. If human beings are consciously strong, handling corona, global warming, other problems are too easy. But unfortunately, more than 70% of the humanity, please understand when I am saying these words, 70%, after thorough research, studying the scientific researches, analysis done by multiple universities which are working on various human societies, ethnic cultures. After thoroughly studying all of that, I am making this statement. More than 70% of the humanity feels consciously uprooted. The feeling of belongingness is stolen away. That's one of the fundamental flaw, I should say. The fundamental right to all human beings is feeling conscious belongingness, feeling grounded, feeling fulfilled with their life. Unfortunately, the political ideologies which are extremely exploitative, religious ideologies which are extremist, the militant missionaries and missionary militants, crony capitalism, deadly combination of all these three. Crony capitalism, extremist religious ideologies, and extremely exploitative, oppressive political ideologies and decision makers. The deadly combination of these three has made more than 70% of the human beings consciously uprooted. The biggest problem humanity is facing now is conscious pandemic. Feeling purposeless. The definition of life is not convincing, satisfying. Please understand, 50% of the middle class people are dropping from regular jobs. Regular jobs are not going to be any more normal lifestyle. The new normal is not going to have a regular clerical, industrial, working population. This is one of the major revolution happening all over the world. Nobody is waking up to it. And 20% of the population just want to move away from the grid. Not just from job. They just don't want the human civilization. They are moving into the forests, remote villages. They don't want all the comforts, luxuries the modern day civilization is providing, because they feel it's the too costly exchange. The 20% do not know the solution, but one thing they became very clear: they don't want the modern civilization anymore. Understand? I am not against science, modern civilization. I am not against any of it. But the crony capitalists, extremist religious ideologies like militant missionaries and missionary militants, and absolute oppressive, sadist, autocratic, power-hungry political decision makers, deadly combination of these three is making people lose their roots. I call this as a conscious pandemic, which is more serious problem than global warming or corona, the global pandemic which we are going through. Please understand, this conscious pandemic of feeling uprooted, feeling displaced, is imploding human society from inside. No amount of painkillers, depression medications, psychiatric drugs is going to help these root problems of humanity. No amount of addiction, illegal drugs is going to help the humanity to find solution. All the decision makers all over the world, if you are a decision maker in the political field, religious field, media, or entertainment field, Hollywood, Bollywood, Gollywood, Sandalwood, or social media influencer, if you are influencing the society in any form, I request all of you sincerely, please wake up to this truth. We are having conscious pandemic all over the world. The only solution is strengthening our indigenous lifestyle consciously. Let's go back to our way of eating. Each part of the world, country, had their way of diet before this multinational companies started dumping food-like products in the name of food into our stomach and make our body as their source for income. Understand, a patient cured is a client lost for big pharmas. They are not going to think for your health. It is very open. It's a business for them. So why will they think? They are not charitable organization. They are not compassion-centric ideology organization. They are declared for-profit companies. Why don't we wake up? The big pharmas are going to only work for their profit. For them, your body is an income source. Why don't we wake up to the simple truth and drop the blind spot with which we are pushing our life and masses, billions of human beings into irreversible physical, mental, psychological, emotional damages we are collectively causing. Please understand. Crony capitalism in the field of pharma, in the field of food, is not only extremely dangerous, it is causing irreversible damage to the human bodies, minds, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. We are leaving the worst kind of body-mind structure for our next generation. Please understand. in multi-level stealing the conscious indigenous life from the people, whether the indigenous Hindu traditions are stolen away, destroyed from the Hindus living in remote villages of Nepal, India, Malaysia, or the indigenous homegrown family lifestyle of worshipping Voodoos, the Voodoo traditions being stolen away, robbed, forcibly taken away from the African indigenous tribes. All these are the crimes against humanity. Please understand, whether a Munishwaran temple is getting demolished in a remote village in Tamil Nadu, or Mariamman temple is getting demolished in a remote village in Malaysia, or the village Hindu tribes getting brainwashed and forcibly getting converted in Nepal, or the indigenous African tribes and traditions is getting wiped off in the name of modernization, and they losing their Voodoo traditions and converting losing their conscious roots and being consciously manipulated, bullied, exploited by missionary militants and militant missionaries. All these are causing conscious pandemic for human beings. The deadly combination of these three all over the world is causing chaos. It is time consciously we the people, we the humanity reclaim our indigenous lifestyle traditions consciously. Modernization does not mean getting brainwashed and losing your conscious roots by this deadly combination of crony capitalist autocratic political decision makers extremely misinforming, brainwashing mainstream media and militant missionaries and missionary militant religious political ideologies. Common man follows science, science follows simply obediently the large powerful media and pharma mafia. Even in this global pandemic corona, common man follows science. Common man is controlled by science, and science is controlled by big pharmas. Big pharmas have evolved more like a modern day mafia than solution for the problems of humanity. It is time we the people, we the human beings, we the conscious beings wake up and not allow ourselves to get silenced by those powerful forces trying to silence us. We should get back to our conscious roots, our conscious lifestyle, our own conscious introduction about ourselves, the way we deal our body, our mind, our pleasures, our pains, our relationships, the concept of economy, concept of currency, concept of money, concept of social structure. In every level, it is time we get back to our roots consciously, not allow these chronic capitalists and chronic capitalists supported militant missionaries and missionary militants get to our conscious roots. We are made to eat something food-like product in the name of food, plastic food, which makes us not only sick, alters our body and mind once and for all, to be a client for pharmaceutical industry. Big pharma mafias, and we continue to earn, live just to make big pharmas richer and richer and richer. Patient cured is a client lost is their ideology. And common mass, billions of people are just being treated as the clients, not as patients. Non-violence, conscious coexistence need to enter into all our thought currents, the way of living, in our business decisions, social understandings, the way we influence ourselves and the people around us and the world. Please understand, 70% of the world population is imploding. Consciously feel uprooted, displaced. This conscious pandemic really need to be taken very seriously. Efforts to correct the course correction should start now. KAILASA is all about conscious course correction. We are not interested in who committed the crime. We are only interested in waking up the human beings that the crime has been committed on them and move them away from the sufferings and make them consciously grounded again. Feel fulfilled again. Feel this home, planet Earth, the only home we human beings have. We have some more guests joining. Honorable Jose Miguel Benitez, the Mayor of Guatemala Zone, representing Guatemala. Thank you for being here. All over the world, in the name of globalization, our indigenous roots are consciously getting destroyed. It is time we revive the conscious-centric civilization, conscious-centric lifestyle, conscious-centric life solutions. We human beings need to revisit all the ideas about what is money, what is currency, what is crime, who should be put in prison, who should be rewarded, awarded, what is science. All these definitions need to be revisited consciously. What is human body? What is human mind? What is human being? What is the meaning of health? What is the definition of consciously feeling fulfilled? What is the definition of peace? What is the definition of love? What is the definition of joy? All this need to be redefined, revisited consciously. At least last 200 years. Heavy damage is done. I'm not talking just about India or Sri Lanka, Nepal, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan. No, I'm talking about the whole world, Africa. The whole suffering human beings going through in Afghanistan is they accepted the ideology which dictates them, brainwashes them to kill people if they have a different opinions. Instead of handling the logic with the logic, when sword is used to cut the head, if there is an idea in somebody's head and you have better idea, try to share your idea. But just because the other person has different idea in his head, just cutting his head is not going to solve the problem. But unfortunately, when you accept those ideologies, once you start killing anyone, once you complete the killing of the people whom you think as ideologically different outsiders, you start killing within yourself, because the habit of killing by then becomes part of your lifestyle. You can't do anything. You don't know anything else other than either you kill or get killed. The militant missionary ideology are causing millions of people getting even physically uprooted, making them refugees. And then missionary militants, conversion, religious conversion for the sake of political motives, the mass conversion is terrorism. We human beings need to know an individual for the sake of conscious reason changing his ideologies due to conscious evolution is absolutely okay. That's a freedom. But mass conversion with a political ideology heavily funded externally is a terrorism. It's a violence. Just like gun terrorism, gun violence, humanity should wake up and realize conversion terrorism and conversion violence. Gun violence kills only in thousands. Conversion violence kills in millions. We Hindus, who are the victims of militant missionaries and missionary militants, have to wake up to tell the truth to the world. We need to start somewhere. We should make the world understand. Stop this consciously uprooting people. By terrorizing us with the militant missionaries, missionary militants, and the lifestyle, consumeristic lifestyle being forced on us in the name of culture, modernization by the chronic capitalists. When you get addicted to food-like products in the name of food, please wake up. Your body is becoming the source for income for the big pharma mafias. We human beings need to reclaim our conscious-centric, indigenous lifestyles we should free ourselves from currency-centric, profit-motivated, profit-centric food, medicine, lifestyles forced on us. First, human beings should liberate themselves by the profit motive multinational companies, food and medicine lifestyles forced on us. Second, profit motive large mafia teaching us about our mind, the false theories dumped on our mind to make us as a patient and resource for their companies. By teaching the false ideas, concepts in the name of psychology, psychiatry, and in the name of mental health. And the false ideas about the currency being taught to us. False ideas about wealth being taught to us. The false ideas about religion, life being taught to us. Let's free ourselves from all this and consciously get back to our indigenous traditions. Our ancestors who are conscious beings who did not look at us as clients or resource for their income or their slaves are the source for their power. Our ancestors were conscious. My sincere request to all the decision makers, social influencers who are here, let's wake up to this conscious pandemic humanity is going through. Let's start now. Let's do something now. Let's get back to food style, lifestyle, medicines, everything our ancestors gave us consciously. Understand? In that conscious lifestyle, if we need to do some evolution, let us evolve consciously in that very lifestyle and stop discarding that whole conscious lifestyle of our indigenous traditions. Conscious indigenous traditions and the conscious lifestyle is the solution for all the conscious pandemic human beings are going through all over the world. Thank you for being here. Maybe in further satsangs, I'll reveal more and more the solution from conscious, enlightened civilization, ancient civilization of the humanity, Hindu tradition. Kailasa is all about reviving the ancient, enlightened, conscious-centric, indigenous traditions. Hinduism is just nothing but the collection of around 10,000 indigenous traditions, indigenous lifestyles. We are not like modern day organized religions. We are not enforced cookie cutter solutions. We see human beings as conscious beings, not as source for money, not as source for power, not as source for anything. We see human beings as conscious living beings. Non-violence is the foundation of Hinduism and the foundation of Kailasa's constitution. Let's get back to our conscious indigenous traditions, liberate ourselves from this huge conscious pandemic and help the humanity to free themselves from this conscious pandemic. That's all is my request to all the decision makers who are here from various walks of life. Thank you all. With this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam Paramadvaitam. The state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa, Maha Kailasa of Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.